Hi readers, it's Molly, the Reading Walrus. I wanted to make a video about the hard copy books that I actually own, because I don't actually own a lot of like actual physical books. I actually own a lot of ebooks, but my e-reader is not charged right now, and I thought it'd be cool to actually just make a video of the books that I do own. So without further ado, here are the books that I actually own. Bear in mind that most of these books are, like, I think there are only two of them that are actually first books in series, because a lot of the books that I ended up buying were ones that were like sequels or books in series that had just come out and I was really eager to read them. So that's kind of, a lot of them are like second, third, or last, or whatever. The first book is Inkdeath by Cornelia Funke. This is from the Inkheart trilogy. It was Inkheart, Inkspell, and Inkdeath. This is actually one of the first books that really got me into like fantasy and young adult stuff, and like just reading in general, really. This series, not this book in particular, but this series, I remember actually reading it for a book club I was in with my sister and some friends, and I really liked it and really liked the sequel, and this one was pretty good too. Although I would say that in order of like how good they were, I would say the second one is the best, the first one is the second best, and this one was okay, but it did do pretty well. I was pretty happy with it. But it wasn't good. It wasn't like bad. I just didn't really like the ending. I'm not going to spoil anything about it though. This is one of the few books that I have that is like the first book in a series and not like a sequel or anything, and it's The Sea of Trolls by Nancy Farmer. This is a really good book. It has a lot of Norse mythology. It takes place in like way back when the Norse mythology was actually around. Main character is Jack, and he's like kidnapped by some Norse berserkers and stuff like that, and he's like taken as a slave, and some really cool stuff happens, and that's all I'm gonna say about it. Although this was one of the things that really got me into mythology. I'm really a big fan of mythology, so this is one of the reasons why it's got me into the Norse mythology. The other book that I have that's a first in a series is one that my sister gave me. One of two that my sister gave me, and it's Frozen by Melissa De La Cruz and Michael Johnston. I recently read the second book in this series, which was Stolen. I got that out of the library, and it was also pretty good. The story is really good. I wasn't too thrilled about the writing. It seemed kind of amateurish to me, but I guess I read a lot of books, and so maybe I'm really picky about that. I don't know. But this was a really good book, and I would recommend it if you like future dystopia sort of things and magic. There's magic in there. There's future dystopia and magic. So I don't really think... I think it's like an alternate reality, though. I'm not positive. Alright, the next book is Fablehaven: Keys to the Demon Prison by Brandon Mull. This was the last book in the Fablehaven series, which I really liked. I should reread this series because it was really good. Like, the books are actually technically found in the children's section of the library and not the young adult section, but I would say that this is a good series for both kids and young adult readers. There's a lot of mythological creatures, and the two main characters, Seth and Kendra, are just really awesome, and the world's greatest adventurer was here. And if you read this series, or if you've read this series, you know what I'm talking about. Actually, there was something in one of the first books, I think it was the first book, that kind of has been an idea for a tattoo for me for a while, but I'm not going to talk too much about it, but it would say, drink the milk, but I'm not sure when I want to get it yet, or if I'm going to get it, because I don't have any tattoos, and I don't have any money. Anyway, the next two are both from the same series. which one of the, okay, this one came first, was The Five Fakirs of Fazabad and The Grave Robbers of Genghis Khan. These are from the Children of the Lamp series by P.B. Kerr. This was one of the earlier series that I got into like quite a while ago. My sister was reading them too, but she stopped after a while. This is book 6 and book 7. These are the last 2 books. And the first book, which I think is The Cobra King of Kathmandu, I think. But this is actually a really good series. It is for slightly younger readers, and I was younger when I read this, but it's still a really good series, and I would still recommend it. The main characters are jinn. It's about like jinn and what they do, and one thing that you should know is that in this world it's rude to call them genies. They're not genies, they're jinn. But that's all I'm going to say about it. And the next book that I have is a series that is, I don't really feel like it's very well known, but it was a series that I really, really enjoyed. And I would recommend it to like everybody that likes like fantasy, especially if you like mermaids, that sort of thing. If you like romance, and the style that this was written in, I would say would be like a really close first person. And that is The Crossing of Ingo by Helen Dunmore from the Ingo series. The first book is Ingo. So Ingo, the Tide Knot, and the Deep were the other 3. And then this is The Crossing of Ingo. And I really, really liked this series. It was actually quite a while ago that I read it, and I'm just thinking now I should actually reread it and see if it holds up now that I'm older. But I really liked this series. And after I got all these books, I remembered that there was another one that I have that I haven't read yet, and I'm not sure I'm going to read because it's more of an adultish book, and I'm not really big on those as much, but I'm going to go get it, and it's over there on my floor somewhere, so I'll be right back. Okay, so the last book I have not read, and it's IQ84, no, 1Q84, I'm sorry, by Haruki Murakami. I think it's, I know it's supposed to like rival George Orwell's 1984, but I've never read that, and I didn't read this, and this is actually like 3 books in one, so it's like really fat, and I haven't read it, and it seems actually like kind of a really adult book, and I don't know if I actually want to read it. Like I started to once, and there was some stuff in there, and I'm not really sure that I'm actually interested in it, but it looks interesting, so I don't know. But those are the books that I actually own physical copies of. Hold up! I just remembered some more books that I have. 2 of them are not in my room. One of them I don't know where it is. It's Delirium by Lauren Oliver. The other one, which is upstairs in the bathroom, I think, and it's Matched by Ali Condi from the Matched trilogy. The Delirium book is also from a trilogy, and there are 2 other books that come after that, and 2 other books that come after Matched, which are Crossed and Reached. The other books that come after Delirium are, I know one of them is Pandemonium, and I think that's the last one, and one of them might be Requiem, but I'm not positive. So that's a thing. But the other books that I do have that are with me, one of them is actually a manga, or I think it's a manga. It's a comic, but it's something that somebody gave me when I was in Japan. It's the first edition of Doraemon, which is also a TV cat. It's Gadget Cat from the future, a cat-shaped robot born on September 3rd, 2112. He rode a time machine all the way back from the 22nd century to help Nobita. He can pull all sorts of secret tools out of the 4th dimensional pocket on his tummy whenever Nobita needs them to get himself out of trouble. So it sounds interesting, but I haven't looked at it yet. I don't usually do a lot of comics, but I do want to look at this eventually, and I will. I don't know who it's by. Most of this is in Japanese. So. And then, there are 2 books that I own that a friend bought for me from the Dresden Files by Jim Butcher. And I haven't read them, and I'm not sure if I'm going to read them because they're not really, I don't think they're young adults. But the ones that I have are Full Moon and Stormfront, and I don't know which one comes first. I have to figure that out. I guess Harry Dresden is a wizard. So I guess I'll look into them, maybe. Okay, so I think this one comes first, Stormfront. I don't know if I'm going to read them yet, but I was given these by a friend. He bought them for me. I was actually there when he bought them. But anyway, and then the last ones, I have read these series, but not these editions of this series. I think I have some of them as ebooks, but I was at Savers one day, and I saw this, and it was like $14, or no, it was $12, or like $12.99, and I got the entire Percy Jackson box set. It's a little ruined, like, kind of, like, beat up, but it looks like a treasure chest. And it's really cool, and I have the entire box set, so even though these aren't the copies that I read, I do have the entire Percy Jackson series by Rick Riordan. I loved this series. And the series that came after it, which I don't remember what that was, but that was also a really good series. The last book, which came out really recently, was fantastic. I just want to say. And the second to last book was also really good. Those books I have, or at least a lot of those books I have as ebooks on my e-reader, and I also have some of the Kane Chronicle books on there too. Actually, I might have all of those. All 3 of them? I think there's 3 of them. Maybe not. I'm not sure. But I will, at some point, go through the books that I have on my e-reader, because there's quite a few of those too. And I feel like maybe there are some more books that I'm not thinking of that I have, but we'll get to that at another point, and maybe I find them. I just wanted to put this in here because I just remembered that I have them. And that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching. If you want, you can follow me on Goodreads and follow me on Tumblr. I'm on both of those things. Add me if you want to. And that's it. I'll see you later, readers. Bye!